welcome back to Planet X. I'm Andrew Horton. This is show I talk about a lot of retro media, a lot of physical media, a lot of VHS tapes, a lot of VHS culture and stuff like that. I did a video recently on recent vinyl pickups in the rock and metal genres, and I've had a bit of a find today. Now, for a while now, I've not found anything decent in charity shops, be it vinyl, CDs, no VHS movies, of course. DVDs are getting more and more generic. Video games, it's all FIFA. Everything is FIFA forever, as far as the eye can see. And I've just thought it was just dying. But today I made a bit of a find. A local branch of British Heart Foundation ended up buying 15 CDs. And these were all 50p each. There were more that I wasn't sure about, but the majority of these I am going to flip, but there are some choice titles in here I am going to keep hold of. So let's take a look what I got today. Now, in a lot of cases, you will find the same albums in a lot of places, the same sort of, lots of pop bands, lots of classic rock compilations, driving compilations, lots of like Gatecrasher and Ministry of Sound stuff, but you'll very rarely find much in the way of rock or metal. So when I do find those, I'm always going to pick those up because they're just, that is my lifeblood. And I love physical media. I do use streaming, I do use digital media, and I stream music and things like that, but there is no ownership. There is no ownership, you're borrowing it. So you don't have those favourites that you can always refer to. So when I see things that I want to get hold of, I will pick a lot of them up. I say I'm gonna flip some of these, but there are some I'm going to keep. I'm impressed with this batch. This was an unexpected batch of stuff to find in a charity shop of all places, let alone on 50 pence a pop. So I may go back tomorrow and see if I can get the others. Some bit of buyer's remorse. I'm not getting more of them because this was a really good deal. I spent £7.50 on these. So let's go through them and see what you think. Let me know down below what you think of some of these. It's all rock and metal, mainly 80s, a couple of 90s in there. So we've got Highway to Hell, AC/DC, look, 50p. These are all in really good condition as well. So Highway to Hell, classic album, it's got Highway to Hell on it. So what's all you need to know? It's also if you want blood, you've got it, and well, you know what's on Highway to Hell. So that was a nice find. And the unexpected ones I found there was the Eternal Idol Black Sabbath album. Yet not one of the most well loved ones, but it is a solid album. Has its detractors yet, but everything has its detractors. But again, 50p, not going to say no to that. A favourite of mine. That I've not seen in a while. I do have another copy of this, but it's not in great condition, is The Last Command by Wasp. And this is the remastered version with extra liner notes and previously unreleased tracks. I had this on a double pack that didn't have the bonuses on it, but the additional tracks on there, we've got live versions of On Your Knees and Hellion, a live version of Sleeping in the Fire, there's Animal, and I Want to Be Somebody, all live. Fantastic. I'm really pleased with that. It's a great album, and it holds up well. And the remastered version is a really good remaster of it. Actually, it's not just like a bit pumped up. One that was a bit sudden. Sorry. One that you may wonder why I got this. It's the first Bon Jovi album. Now, this was an interesting one. This is an interesting album. I've had this on tape. I don't have it on CD, but I didn't have it on CD, but I do now. This is a really interesting album. If you've not heard this, if you've only heard like Slippery When Wet and the big hits and so on, I do recommend you check this out because this is a little bit of a more hard rock feel than a lot of their albums. Of course, there's Runaway that didn't have the Bon Jovi band on it, apart from John Bon. If I remember rightly, it wasn't Bon Jovi that recorded the backing to that, I think. That's as far as the story goes, but there is some really, really good stuff on there. Let's pick it up. Vixen. I love Vixen. Edge of a Broken Heart, Crying, they're on there. They were a really good rock band. They're still going. We're still going with Roxy Petrucci and three newer members. But Vixen were awesome. I'm always going to love Vixen stuff. Rev It Up was a great album as well. If you like your big chorus, big hair 80s rock, perfect album to check out. A Stone Cold classic here, one that I do have multiple copies of, and I'm not going to say no to. Another one, 50p, is Painkiller by Judas Priest. how could I not get another copy of Painkiller? I love this. Great album, one of the most metal albums ever. How can you not love this cover? Next one, just out of a lot of love for the band. I've met them before, I've seen them live and so on. It's Thunder, Backstreet Symphony. I already have a copy of this, but I think I might be able to find someone else that wants a copy of this, so that may go on my page. An interesting one it's an A&M Records one. This was it kind of reeks of contractual obligation, but it's the best of Y&T, best of 81 to 85. So that's cool. It's got 16 tracks on it, and I can't complain at 16 tracks. So I'm going to give that a listen, see how it is, and then decide whether or not to flip it, that one. This is an interesting one. Didn't expect to find anything like this. I have heard of these before. I'm not really familiar with them, but it's Omnia. They are a pagan folk act, and they did this. They had a bit of a rise a few years ago, before the rise of things like Heilung and Vigunda and Wardruna and stuff like that. So this is like quite a raucous pagan folk sort of live album. But I'm going to give that a listen, and I think I may flip this one because it's not a band I'm hugely familiar with, but I know that they are good at what they do. So that's Omnia. That was a good one. Also for 50 pence, a much loved album, Fear of the Dark by Iron Maiden. I've had this on multiple formats before, and I didn't actually have a copy of it with its full cover art. Because the previous one was just knackered, so I'm pleased to get hold of that again. Unsung classic, in my opinion. I know it does have its detractors, again, as all albums do, but there are some really good standout tracks on this. A Be Quick or Be Dead, For Him to Eternity, Afraid to Shoot Strangers. Afraid to Shoot Strangers is great. What a powerful song. That is fantastic. But things like Judas My Guide, and of course the title track, Fear of the Dark, stone cold classic. Also on the stack, in terms of classics, again, I have another copy of this, but I had to rescue it. This may get flipped. It's Holy Diver by Dio. See, I've not taken any of the price stickers off yet, just to show you that they were all 50p. Stand Up and Shout, Holy Diver, Don't Talk Strangers, Rainbow in the Dark, classic, absolute classic album. Speaking of Dio, I picked up another Dio one. Collection. That's just like a greatest hits. How can I not like that? Perfect. I also got the last three here were quite surprises for me. So I got another Dio album, Lock Up the Wolves. Never actually had this. Never had this album. It's not one I'm familiar with, so I'm looking forward to checking that out, and that may well be a keeper. I need to do some reading on it. I need to know the background of it. I do that with classic albums that I've not owned before. I will check out the story behind it and what went on with it. But definitely pleased about that. Another Dio album. As the penultimate disc, I'm going to show you Strange Highways. I had a long sleeve of this. I remember having it at school. It was I think it was my first long sleeve, was Dio Strange Highways long sleeve, and it's good. The thing with Dio is you've got Ronnie James Dio on it. It's going to be good, regardless of the other performers, who are all very good anyway, and the songs that are on there. You've got Dio, you've got entertainment, absolute class. Now they're my favourite ones. I've saved for last. Absolutely delighted to have a copy of the debut Crimson Glory album. This was the first one I spotted in the shop. I was like, oh my god, look at this. The first Crimson Glory album. If you're not familiar with Crimson Glory, in this era they were playing progressive melodic metal. They all wore silver masks. Sing of Midnight had a ludicrous range. I'm definitely keeping this one. And they are the creators of one of my favourite albums of all time, just Transcendence, that had like Red Sharks and Lady in Winter and Lonely on it. There they are. This is the era where they were wearing clear up camera, never mind. Full face silver masks, and I just love that dearly. So I'm going to go back there tomorrow and see if I can dig out any other gems. Really pleased with this batch today. So that's the CDs I picked up today from British Art Foundation. 50 pence each, spent £7.50 on these. I'm really, really pleased with these. Some I'm going to keep, some that I'm going to flip, some that I've got to read up on. So I'm going to delve into this pile, and some will be listed over on my eBay page. for others to share and for others to enjoy, that I'm not fussed about keeping, but I'm sure there'll be fans out there that want to keep hold of them. But yeah, I'm going to keep on looking. I don't think retro collecting and physical media collecting is dead by a long way. I was a bit shaky about it for a while because I just wasn't finding anything, but I think there are things still out there to be found and enjoyed. So if you like your physical media, if you like your music and you want to keep hold of it, physical media is the way, with new releases as well. Get it on physical, then it's not going to go away from your streaming services. You'll always be able to enjoy it, and you'll always be able to go back to it and revisit it in future. Physical media for me is absolutely the thing I'm always going to stick by, as long as I possibly can, because I'm a annoyed, grumpy curmudgeon. I'm not against progress, but if I like something on streaming, I will go and get the physical copy as well, just so that I have it and I'm not just borrowing it from the streaming service. So I'm Andrew Horn, this is Planet Hex. If you like physical media, if you like retro stuff, and you like nerding out with a bald man talking about VHS tapes a lot of the time, please do stick around and subscribe, that would be awesome. If not, it's nice to have you here for this one. Cheers for watching. Thanks for watching this episode of Planet Hex.